Okay, we are back. And again, we're going to do a week 4 overview. So as you go into the course, you already see you have an extra assignment here, which is your career integration. And I do recommend that you do it because it will give you the additional 15 points that's been taken away for your assessment for this week, okay? So we're going to do a week 4 overview of what we're going to be learning. We're going to be learning some functions with the Shape Builder tool. I apply the transformation and distort tool to Illustrator to modify shapes, applying colors to shapes using the swatch panel, and we're going to discuss the advantages and disadvantages of using the Creative Cloud libraries to organize assets. Make sure to watch your inspiration video for the week. It's a great video, and it will give you the push that you need to keep going in week 4. Today's quote, or this week's quote, comes from Milton Glasser, where it says, there are 3 responses to a piece of design: yes, no, and wow. And we always want to aim for the wow. You want to aim for the wow factor because it's what's going to catch your audience attention and keep them focused on whatever messaging you're trying to convey through your design. Let's move on to course media and what you have to do or read for course media. Okay? So if you scroll down all the way to week 4, you have your Linda Learning videos where you talk about transforming objects, using raster graphics and Illustrator, using the Creative Cloud and Illustrator, and it talks about transforming objects and vector icons, okay? And this is going to come in handy with your week 4 assignment, which will be creating a family shield, okay? I'm going to go back to the home screen really quick, and I'm going to click on your discussion. Oops, sorry. Let's stop that really quick, and let's go to your week 4 discussion. I'm sorry, refresh here. This is week 4. So in this discussion, you're going to pretend that you're working as a graphic designer on the project, and you have a task, and your boss told you they heard of the Creative Cloud libraries, which is CC libraries, and they're wondering which of the following clients might work well for it. It gives you a list of clients, and it asks you would it be beneficial to create a CC library for this company, why or why not, and then what elements would you recommend, and are there any disadvantages for using a CC library? So make sure that you go over the post and post this by Wednesday. Make sure that your main post is 150 plus words. Make sure you have a citation and reference. The 2 follow-up posts, which are your student replies, make sure they're 50 words or more, okay? If you get stuck, make sure to view the sample here. And to put that into your post itself, okay? Well, don't put that into the post itself, but here's an example, scrolling here. And you can, what I meant to say was this actual link itself, if you want to use that in your post, if you find some inspiration for it, you can use the links that are there. Make sure to put it in your own words and don't copy this part of it. But if you use the words cited here, put that portion into your post as well. While we're on this, I do want to make something very clear that the samples that are in this course are just samples. They are here to guide you, so to help you to know what the final product should look before you submit it. Please do not use any of the samples as your work. That is considered plagiarism, which is against independent universities' policies, so please do not do that. If I do see any students doing that, we will discuss it. After that warning and that discussion, if I see it to be a continual problem, then I will have to follow up with our dean. So please make sure to do your own work and do not submit any of the samples for your discussions or your assignments, okay? I'll talk a little bit too about saving color things in your CC library. That's what I use it for. And I'll show you that once we get into the assessment part of it, okay? Make sure to answer your post by Wednesday night. I'll put the reminder in the course as well. So let's talk about your week 4 assignment, assessment, and career integration. So for your week 4 assignment, you're going to be creating a family crest, and this will be the second part of the live session here. If you see this here, you're going to have a video that you can shows you how to create a crest. I'm going to show you a different way as well. You can definitely watch this video here, and it'll show you exactly what to do for your assignment. It's also here as well. The 4 things I am looking for on your crest is a background shape of some kind, a foreground ribbon, a simple graphic symbol, and your actual family name spelled out. Make sure the size is 8 by 8. Submit it to me, And here are some samples here as well. Sample 1, family is McBride, and they're Irish. They're from Ireland. So you have the name, the symbol, which is the clover, and the shape of the shield, and the ribbon here. Very simple. All 4 components are here. Let's look at sample 2. Croft, Army family. They have their symbols with the stars and the guns here. They have the actual shield shape, which they use outlines, inner outlines, and then the outer stroke, inner strokes and outer stroke to create this shape, which is pretty cool. And we'll discuss this in the second part of this live session, which will be this evening. This is worth 120 points. And I will be grading you on the craftsmanship, making sure that you're using the proper tools and everything looks neat. Your concept is clear, and you're going to be graded on using the principles of design, contrast, repetition, alignment, and proximity. A variety of ideas and contextual context is utilized to create your solution here for your shield. But what I really am grading you on are these 4 things here, and that is 8 by 8. And you submit it as an AI file, okay? Now, one thing it does say here, make sure that you change all your text to outline so I can see your fonts. The same thing we did in week 3 assessment. If you go back to week 3's assessment, if you had trouble with it, click there, and we show you exactly how to do it here in the top video there, okay? Your week 4 assessment is going to be creating the cube. You have a video that shows you how to do it here. I want to show you also today in today's live session how to create that cube and what I'm going to be checking for. You have a set of instructions to follow, which we'll go ahead and download here. You have to name your Illustrator file, first name, last name, DES013_assessment4. Make sure you follow the instructions clearly and carefully. They are laid out here on this Word file that I'm about to open now. When you open the Word file, you're going to get 9 instructions, 9 steps, really 10, if you count the other one for the number 3. And I'm going to go over this right now for you in our live session. I think this will be easy for you to do. You only have 1 artboard, which is 8.5 by 11, and you have to create 3 squares that are 1.5 by 1.5. You're going to fill the square with 3 different colors, no stroke, and then we're just going to follow the instructions here. We're really going to be using the transform tool here in this assignment. So let me go ahead and pull it up here, and we'll go ahead and get started. The layout of this will look just like this, okay? So we're going to draw the set of squares here, and your final one will be this cube. So let me go ahead and pull up my Illustrator. I'm going to close out these 2 files here, and I don't want to save anything. I'm going to go to File, New. When I go to File, New, I'll have my new dialog screen that comes up. When I click on the new dialog screen, I'm going to go, and I'm in the Illustrator 2020, by the way. If you're in 2019, it may look a little different. I'm going to click on Print. You should still have this print here. I'll click on Letter and change this from points to inches so I can have my 8.5 by 11 artboard. I'm just needing 1 artboard, so I'm not adding any more. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Create. If you're like me, you don't like to switch back and forth from a lot of screens. So what I'm going to do is to make a text box out here on the outside of my assignment. I'm going to take all of my steps here. I'm going to copy them just to show you what I'm doing. I'm copying everything that's here, right? Then I'm going to go back into Adobe Illustrator and paste it here, okay? So I have my steps here. Then when I'm done, I'm just going to delete this box before I submit it. Make sure you do that, okay? So it says save each step of your process in the file, duplicating shapes as you go, okay? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to create 3 squares that are 1.5 by 1.5. And every time we do a step, we're going to duplicate the squares, okay? So it also tells us to fill the squares with 3 different colors, no strokes, so we'll do that. So let's create the squares. First things first, I want to create my square here. I'm going to go to my transform tool. It's not quite 1.5, so I'm going to type in 1.5 by 1.5 here in the transform window. If you don't have this transform window and you need to get your shape perfect, make sure you go to Window, Transform, and you can pull it up here. You can see it's 1.5 by 1.5. Instead of creating the same shape over and over again, I'm going to do a Command and Control C and Command and Control V, so copy and paste. Command C, Command V. And I'm just going to put the square here, Command C and V, and do it here. So our PC uses this Control C and V, okay? So line these squares up just a little bit. I'm okay with how they look. And I'm just going to put them, I selected everything, try to put them towards the center, okay? Now it says fill the square with 3 different colors, no stroke. And to create dimension with this project, start with a light color, then a darker version, then a darker version, okay? So I'm going to choose this color, choose the color of the first square, and I'm going to do this turquoise here. And then what I'm going to do is double click on it. I'm going to copy the hexadecimal number. Actually, I'm going to do this a different way, the easier way, the eyedropper tool. I'm just going to copy the color. And then I'm going to go back into it and just go down a little bit for that square. This one, I'm going to use my eyedropper tool here, copy the color, and then go a shade darker. Okay. So we have our 3 colors, our 3 colors and shades and dimensions here. So I've created, completed step 1, step 2, and step 3, okay? So I'm going to delete that. Now remember to save each step of your process in the file, duplicating the shapes as you go. So now that I've done this, I'm going to duplicate these shapes. I'm holding down my Shift key and I'm using my selection tool, which is the black arrow. I'm selecting all 3 shapes, Command C and Command V to copy and paste. I'm going to put these shapes right below here. Now it says for the second step or the 4th step to transfer all heights to 86.062%. I'm going to leave the widths intact. So the only thing I have to do here is just to click here on the square itself. I'm going to go to my transform tool, which is this right here. It says all the height, which is here. And I know it says inches, but I'm going to type in 86.062% because it will convert it to inches for me, which this is the amount that it is in inches, okay? Do the same thing here. 86.062%. And my last one here. Okay, so now I have all 3 shapes here for step 4, okay? So now that I've completed step 4, I'm going to go into my text box and delete that because it's done. Now, every time I do a step, I have to duplicate these. So again, holding down the Shift key using my selection tool, I'm going to copy these 3 shapes. Command C and Command V, okay? Or Control C and Control V if you're on the PC. Now, it tells me in step 5 to share the first square, share the second one, and the third one to 30%. For the first square, I'm actually going to share to -30 degrees. So I'm back in my transform tool. Again, if you don't have it, it's Windows Transform, and it'll come up, okay? I have this square selected. I'm in my transform tool here. And this option right here is your shear. Mind you, step 5 says this one has to be -30. So I'm going to shear that one by -30. Okay? I'm going to shear the second and third one actually by 30 degrees. So I'm just going to type 30 here for this one. And I want to type 30 here for this one. Okay? first square, negative 30 degrees. Share the second and third square by 30 degrees, okay? All right, so I'm going to take these shapes that I've created. I'm going to do a Command C, Command V, because now we're going to rotate, all right? All right, now it tells me to rotate the first two squares by negative 30, and let me delete step 5 and 6. All right, so rotate the first two squares by negative 30. So if I go to my transform tool, where's rotate? This one's rotate. This says negative 30 for this one. So negative 30 for the first one, negative 30 for the second one. And then for this one, step 8, it says rotate this one to positive or it's regular 30. Okay? So now the last step is to bring these pieces together. I'm going to bring these down just a little bit here. Then I'm going to do a Command copy and paste it. Now I did was just select all three shapes, Control C to copy, Control V to paste. And now I want to assemble these, okay? So when I assemble it, it's very simple. I'm going to take this square and put this one on top of here. If this ever happens to you, it's because you double clicked on it, just arrow out of it, okay? So move it on top of here, move you here. And it should align perfectly. And I'm going to move it here. So as you can see, I have my last shape. All I'm doing here, you guys, is just moving some things up so I have a little bit more room for my cube at the bottom. That's all I'm doing here. So you can see the final product. Okay. All right. And this is what I should see, and this is what I'm going to check for. And the way that I check to make sure everything is okay, I check my width and my height for all of these, and the rotation. That's what I'm going to double check it on. Once you're done, what you're going to do is to delete this text box for those who want to use that option, okay? And you should have something very similar to this on your screen. If we go back into our week 4 assessment, you see that's sort of what we have here. The only difference is my square right here is just a little closer, I believe, than the other one. So we'll spread it out a little bit more. But the same thing here, okay? And we've created our cube. Once you're done, you're going to name this a DES013 assessment, your first name and last name. So let me go ahead and do that now. I'm going to just take this and do NGL closure. It'll probably ask me, do I want to save it? Actually, let me cancel this and let me go to File, Save As. I want to make sure it's in my week 4 folder. This looks like it's in my week 3. And it was. It's going to ask me to replace something, or it may not. So now I have this Illustrator options here. Remember, you saw when it came up, this was checked. Remember to uncheck it. So just click OK, and it will save it. So my assessment score has been saved, and all you have to do is submit it. Once you submit it, you're all good to go. And the things we're going to be grading you on for this assessment, if you look at the rubric, is that you follow the instructions, that the assignment next requires file name and file type submission, so make sure it's an Illustrator file. And I'm going to be checking your craftsmanship. So I want to check that you have the final cube, okay? Whether you do it like this or whether you just do one copy of it, even if you just submit me just cube, I just need to see the final product. Either way you go with it is fine with me. If you want to do all of the steps here, that's fine. If you just want to do the cube, that's fine, but I need to see just that. I recommend you do it this way so you can keep track of the changes. So if you mess up anywhere, you can go back and check the step to see what you did wrong, okay? So I'm going to click out of here, and I'm going to click on to save it. And now you have your career integration. Make sure you go in and answer the questions. The only thing that I ask is when you do this is be as honest as possible. It's my feedback for the course. And make sure that you answer the question with 50 words or more. And that'll give you the additional 15 points, totaling to 50 for both your assessment and your career integration. It's very simple, so if you want to go ahead and do that now, you can, and be honest, and I will comment on that. But this is how you can help us to improve the course as well. But before I end this live session on today, like I said, this is going to be really short. I do want to talk about a couple of things that you're going to see in your week 4 assignment. So for your week 4 assignment, which is creating your shield, remember that you do have to create a file that's going to be 8 by 8 inches. Let me make sure that's the correct size. Yes, 8 inches by 8 inches. So I'll go here and just type 8 by 8 and click on create. You're going to be combining a lot of shapes here. And I want to talk to you about 2 things that has worked for me in the past. Your Pathfinder tool and your shape tool. So I'm going to go ahead and give my shapes a feel real quick. And we're going to talk about the Pathfinder tool. What I'm going to do here is like create a bunch of shapes here. And let's just say I want to join these shapes. You have 2 options of doing that in Illustrator. If you go to Windows and go down here to where it says Pathfinder, your Pathfinder tool will come up here. And you see you can unite, minus, intersect, and exclude, divide, trim, whatever you want to do. So I want to unite these shapes here by selecting the 2 I want to unite. So if I select 2 shapes and unite them, you see that stroke is gone, and now I have 2 shapes that I want to add one more and unite it. Same thing here. So it looks like a little abstract Mickey Mouse ear here. You can do the same thing with your shape builder tool. Let me show you how. Your shape builder tool does the same thing as your Pathfinder tool. The only difference is with the shape builder tool, you have to make sure all of the shapes are selected first. So make sure everything is selected here. And then when you get to your shape builder tool, you can go in and sort of draw the line to where you want your shapes to sort of be connected. Okay? So that's the difference between the Pathfinder shape builder tool. You have to select all the shape first with the shape builder tool versus with the Pathfinder tool, you just select which shapes that you want to do individually first. Okay? So I just want to show you those options. We'll talk a little bit more about this in the next live session, where we'll actually discuss going over creating your shield and some options that you have to create your shield as well. Just to give you an idea of what we're going to be doing for that live session, I'll open up one of my old assignments, and I'll be recreating this and seeing, can I get it to be better? Let's see here. This is my assessment. In the last class, I created this shield. This was very simple. But I had another one that I created. Let me see if I maybe saved it or something else. I have no business saying it. No, I did not. I actually had a unicorn shield I want to share with you guys. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to be recreating that shield. And I will actually go in tonight when we do our live session and show you how I created my unicorn shield for my family. And that is all for today. like I said, this is the end of this live session. We'll pick up on tonight, which will be a little longer, so that's the reason why this was a little shorter. If you have any questions or concerns, make sure to reach out to me. Have a great day.